Welcome back to another episode of Hope Collides. Today I want to talk about trials and getting through them. In James it says, "Consider it pure joy when you face trials of many kinds, because you know the testing of your faith develops perseverance, and perseverance must finish its work so you can be mature and complete, not lacking in anything." Which ultimately is the goal, right? To be mature, complete, not lacking in anything. And I feel like it's a process. I was an art major, and I still love art. But when I was mature, I was a better artist. And my paintings can be complete, but they're never going to be not lacking. There's always going to be something I can improve on. And that's our lives. Our goal is to become mature and complete, not lacking anything. But we're really not going to be not lacking anything till we're with Jesus. But we can continue to get to that spot. But I really want to talk more about the trials that lead us to that point. January 10th, so not that long ago, I was driving home, and I'm a mile from home, getting ready to turn onto my road. And the roads were fine. It had been snowing earlier that day, but the roads were fine. And I'm getting ready to turn, and I'm stopping so other cars can go by. And as I start to turn, a guy nails me in the back, rear ends me. And my immediate reaction was to drive up, pull over, turn around to see how he's doing. He's in the ditch. His whole front is in the ditch, and I asked him if he's okay. He's all right. We both seemed okay. I ended up having a mild concussion. Praise God, it was only mild. I was very sore. If you had seen the car, you would have realized it should have been much worse than it was. But that's a miracle. That's the beginning of this trial. And the thing is, in this trial, I never lost hope of God. A couple years earlier, or a couple months earlier, I probably would have freaked out. I would have been so anxious and nervous and upset, but not this time. And I think it's because of where I was in my faith, where my focus was. My focus was on God. But I turned around, he was okay, but the hard thing is he was 2 hours from home. This happened in Stockton, New York. He's from Webster, New York. 2 hours from home, he was 19 years old. I think he was texting, and our poor decisions can lead to someone else's trial also, not just our own. Because this was also his trial. So miracle number one is that I was not hurt worse than I was. Miracle number two is I was close enough to home where I could drive the car home and get it in the garage until it could be towed away. There are a bunch of little miracles in this whole situation. The next day I was able to get a hold of the insurance company. And for the first time in my life, the insurance company was really easy to work with. I still owed $11,000 on my car. So I was a little nervous about having to pay that back. I didn't know what the insurance was going to cover, because when I had bought the car, I didn't know about gap insurance. So I still owed $11,000 on it. And I was looking at all sorts of different sources to see how much I'd get back, and it's like $6,000 to $7,000 is what I was expecting. The next miracle was they offered me $13,000. That paid off my car, or $12,000, I'm sorry. $12,000 paid off my car, and I had another $1,000 to use for a down payment. Praise God for that. It was a true miracle. And he worked many little miracles in this. And I drove a little Ford Fusion, not the best for winters. Earlier that day, I prayed, "God, show me how I can figure out how to get around better in winter." Well, little I know that was going to be from an accident, because I test drove 8 different vehicles before I found the ninth one was the vehicle I found. It's a Chevy Equinox, much better in snow. And it's the same year, just as many miles, but much better in snow. And honestly, a whole much better situation. But these trials led to something good. And it doesn't always work that way sometimes. Maybe I wouldn't have found something better, especially right now. Maybe with the way the prices of cars are and the resources available for cars, I should not have found what I did. And it won't always work that way. Sometimes it'll still feel overwhelming. But we need to focus, because these trials can help us to be more mature and complete, not lacking in anything, like it says in James. So, and like I said a couple months earlier, I probably would have been freaking out, overwhelmed, anxious. Not this time, by the grace of God. And it's because he led me there. He adjusted my focus. He helped me become more mature and complete, not lacking anything. And these trials are part of the reason that happens. So I'll be praying for you. Please pray for me. Have a wonderful day, and God bless.